Hello everybody, this is my Gingko Biloba maidenhair tree. You've probably heard of the fact that these were around from the time of the dinosaurs. I've had this not quite that long, but a goodly long few years. It's got a nice sized trunk on it now. And it kind of looks, maybe it's just me and I have a strange imagination, but when I look at the base of the trunk, I don't know, it has a slightly prehistoric look there. Kind of vaguely reminds me of, I don't know, the Loch Ness Monster or something. But let me know in the comments what you think. But always makes me think of that. So I'm growing this tree in a kind of broadleaf style. It has a nice shape to the trunk, and then I'm fattening it out to be a large crown. I've had it a long time. As I said, you can see by the size of the chop at the back here that it was grown tall and straight for a long time, and then chopped. Again, I got this from either a bonsai nursery or the Bath and West show, the local county show. Certainly my children were very little. The eldest is 30 this year. They were, young enough to be impressed by the fact that this was a tree around from the time of the dinosaurs. So I probably had it a good 25 years at least, I would think. Today I'm going to be cutting this back to try and promote ramification. I've found that the tree, has been quite hesitant to put out a lot of new branches. So I've got long straight branches without any or very little in the way of side branches. And I've also found that this tree tends to be more basally dominant. Don't know if that's true of all ginkgo, but certainly the lower shoots tend to overtake the upper shoots if you're not careful, which could lead to the top dying back. Maybe, I don't know for sure. I'm also told by an eagle-eyed viewers that these buds, that this is a rarer female of the species. You can tell that by the shape of the emerging buds, and I went online and had a look, and it seems that yes, that's right, it does seem to be female. But also read that I can think myself lucky there aren't many males around, because the resulting seed pods and fleshy bits, if you get seed on these ginkgos, it's disgusting and smells absolutely vile. It smells of vomit, so yeah, don't need that in my life. But I am going to start by just cutting away a few of the leaves that are covering up the trunk. I always like to be able to see the trunk of my trees, at least the majority of the trunk. So I'm going to leave this lower branch. Some would say it's too low, but I like it, and I like it the way it's filling out. So, and then it's just a question of, I'm just going to go around and I'm going to cut back quite hard on these lower shoots where they've put out long extensions. This one I'm going to leave because it hasn't yet. Just trim that away. And I will repeat this process as the spring moves into summer more, and hopefully we'll get more shoots burst from the terminals of these buds, and as these pieces elongate, I will trim those back as well. I'm going to cut back the top, but not quite so harshly. You see, we do have quite a bit more oomph coming from lower down the tree, so as with all my trees at the moment, I am using this delivery system of fertilizer. Basically it's a fillable tea bag filled with soluble but solid fertilizer that delivers a small burst of fertilizer every time I water. As the water leaches through the tea bag, it takes a bit of fertilizer with it. You can get purpose-built cups, but they work out very expensive if you have to buy a lot, and I was able to buy hundreds of these for pennies each. So that's it for this video. Let's give you a full 360, and we'll come back and look at this tree perhaps in the autumn, when it's in its glorious yellow full autumn colour. I just thought I would shoehorn into this video these white poplar suckers that I took from the canal side last year. I wasn't sure they were all going to survive, but they all have so far. They didn't have a lot of root on, so I haven't done anything with them in terms of repotting. I just want them to grow on and be healthy, and so just to quickly show you, the reason they're called white poplar is because the bottoms of the leaves are this glorious white colour, and indeed when the trees are blown by the wind, quite often the whole tree will look as if it's white, as all the leaves are sort of blown in the same direction. So yeah, a quick update on these trees in case anyone was wondering. It's not worthy of a video to update on its own, so hence shoehorning it into this one. I take cuttings only when I've not got other opportunities of getting trees, or if I've only got one or two trees of a specific species. So I have taken some cuttings here of some red maple as I've been pruning, and simply because I do like red maple, but obviously I've just taken some cuttings from that Ginkgo. Hopefully it'll root. Other cuttings will go in this tray as and when. I've got some dahlia cuttings in there at the moment, and yeah, hopefully those Ginkgo cuttings will take, and I'll have a few Ginkgo plants kicking around the place that I can do something with. Of course, I didn't have any luck with the wisteria cuttings that I took last year, so maybe I won't. You never can tell. Just got to play the long game. Thank you all for watching. In these strange and troubled times, please look after yourselves. Stay safe.